Now here's something that comes up a lot in conversations, especially if I've worked with somebody through the Executive Foresight program. We learn how to look out on the horizon. We learn how to spot weak signals or things that could have serious implications either for the future of their organization or their industry as a whole. But then when they get back to the office or they take that information back and they say, now how do we apply this to the day-to-day? Because what inevitably happens is they get consumed with the day-to-day. So creating that balancing act is really, really key. How does somebody actually take foresight and apply it to help them be much more efficient in their day-to-day operations? And there are three ways that I try to help people understand this. The first is that thinking about the future is something that we're doing all the time, right? So when we go through something like the Executive Foresight program, what we're doing is we're just getting really good at it. Instead of just speculating and daydreaming, what we are now doing is putting a process or a systematic way of thinking about the future into action. The second way that I help them to understand this is to look at the way that they are thinking about whether it be their target market or the audience that they're going after. Foresight really is just another way, it really parallels critical thinking, which is a lost art in our culture, unfortunately. But it's really learning how to think critically about a situation rather than having tunnel vision and just looking at, here's our market, here's how we've always done it, this is the demographic that we go after, and let's just keep doing that. Now we start to look at how other factors outside of that industry, outside of the way that we've always done business could impact the landscape, could change the demographic, could make either our products and services irrelevant, or could take away our key customer demographic and move them into some other situation. The third way that I help them to think about the present day by applying foresight is really to look at impact and uncertainty. Usually when we're looking at impact and uncertainty of emerging trends or issues, what we're looking at is the impact that something could have on your industry, and we're looking for those things that have the greatest degree of uncertainty because that means we can still do something about it. But if we reverse that model a little bit in the short term, what we're looking at is what has the greatest potential impact and what has the greatest degree of certainty. We know this is going to happen, so how do we think about this more critically? So rather than ignoring that altogether, we can quickly take that, adapt it, and start to move and say we need to move our strategy, we need to refocus our sales efforts on whatever that target might be. So there's three ways to actually take foresight so that you're not thinking this is only good for thinking long term, but it helps you to think better about the future and actually apply it in the day-to-day so that you're not bogged down by the chaos.